Pittsburgh Steelers Nation, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, Pittsburgh people across the world, Steelers Nation, what's crack-a-lacking? We are back for another edition of the Pump Your Brakes podcast. As you can see, it's two guys minus one. Tonight on a Wednesday night, we got a big game coming up, big conversation. But before we get to all that, make sure wherever you listen to your audio podcast, be it Spotify, Google, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get it, listen to the PYB. And if you're live with us on YouTube, what's crack-a-lacking? But before I get to it, Shannon, man, what's going on with you, bro? What's happening? Shannon about to get the big fine.
I done got it right off the bat. Off the bat. But no, just thrilled to be here and just excited about the upcoming game and talk some Steeler football with you. And I know you got some big news for us.
Yeah, absolutely. We normally don't disclose and tell our personal stuff about what's going on behind the scenes when we're on air, but when I say that the Steel Curtain Network is literally like family, and some of us are actually family and related, to each other, but we care and love for each other like we're all brothers. Mm-hmm. And so the reason why Kevin's not here tonight or Tate's not here tonight is because, and he gave me permission to tell and disclose this information. For all you guys that don't know, Kevin has been battling a failed kidney and not having kidneys for about 6.5 years. He's been going through it. Went to where he thought he was going to get one and he didn't, and it didn't work out. And he just kept fighting and fighting and fighting. And a lot of times when we're on air, you guys don't realize Kevin is literally coming from dialysis on air because, he's a fighter. Mm-hmm. So we got news this afternoon at around 3:00 that they were able to get a kidney for him. And so he is literally right now in the waiting room. I just talked to him and Jeff Hartman a few minutes ago before we came on air. He is in the waiting room right now about to be taken back and get his kidney transplant. So we have been praying for this. I know Shannon has. I know my family has. I know a lot of the people across Steel Curtain Network have been praying a lot for this to happen, and it's finally happening. So we are so thankful and we are so grateful for all you guys praying for him. And as he's going through this, please make sure you pray for him so he gets through the surgery, because this ain't just no easy cakewalk now. Mm-hmm. He's got to go in there and some things has got to happen and his body's got to take it. And, he's going to be down for a little while, but it is completely life-changing for him. Mm-hmm. And so we are so thankful. We are so across the board, regardless of what you believe or not. I know me and Shannon are straight up Christians. So, we thank God and thank the Lord for this to happen. But all you guys that's in the live chat, the chat family, thank you guys for your prayers. We appreciate it. Kevin, wherever you're at listening to us, if you're listening to us, because he was getting prepped to go back in a few minutes anyway. So hopefully he's back there and, he's such a trooper, man. He jumped in for a few minutes. He was like, Jesus, let me make sure you're set up and everything's cool. And I told him, I said, bro, go rest. We got this because I want you to come back healthy, because this is game-changing for him, life-changing for him. He'll be able to travel. You might see us being able to do some stuff remotely with PYB where he's here, I'm over there. We might go jump in the car and go see Shannon. We got all kind of stuff planned, but we just couldn't do it because of the condition, because he had to be close to be able to get the dialysis. So we are extremely thankful today that he is getting his kidney transplant. And like I said, he's a champ. He's a trooper. So love you, cuz. It's going to be all right. And about 10 days, you'll be back in the swing of things. So for sure. Shannon, you got any comments with that? And thank you guys in the live chat, man. We're seeing prayer hands everywhere, man.
I told you that it's hard for me. I might get emotional, but been praying for you for a long time. Yeah. And praise God. God's got this. He's going to be life-changing, be better than ever. And I know that the Lord's got him in his hands, and he's in our prayers, and I love him. And I love you, and I love our community. So I'm just so thankful.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's happy tears. It's happy tears.
Yeah, man. I told Shannon before we jumped on there, I told him, I said, bro, I said, man, I said, it's going to be hard to hold it together. But, I got to, because I got to hold it together tonight. So I can't be sometimes that I got to be Big G because I'm always going to be that guy.
Mm-hmm.
But, tonight I really got to steer the ship, keep us grounded. Now, Shannon, we're going to move some furniture around.
Yes.
So because that's how we get out on PYB. But, my mind is, even though I'm here, my mind is really on Kev right now, man.
Yep.
So, and he's going to be it's all good. He's just going to get through this and he'll be back. And, and he told me to make sure that I tell, because I wasn't going to tell. I wasn't going to tell. If you guys know that our boy B Dirt, he got engaged, and I knew weeks before, and he swore me to secrecy. He said, dude, if you tell, I'm going to get you. So I, we grew up with B Dirt. He's like one of our brothers, man. So it's like, hey, Kev did the same thing. And then he said, G, go ahead and tell him. So I think he was, I could tell he was emotional, but for you guys that don't know, Kevin is a really strong guy, man. He's a really strong dude. And so I know he just wanted everything to be okay, but he wanted me to make sure that I told all you guys this evening. So thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you all. We appreciate it. Shannon, I'm going to shout out because we got a gang of people over there in the live chat, man.
Oh, yeah.
Jared Devil, AFL 67, Brandon Watson, Thomas Riley, Blackstreet, what's cracking? Boo B, what's up, bro? AFL 67, Travion James, Jared Devil, the Black and Gold Standard, Mean Green, what's cracking, man? Hey, man, Mean Green is a trooper, bro. He's like on every freaking, there's a lot of people that's on every freaking podcast, but he's a trooper. Vincent C. Bay, Craig Withrow, who else I see over there? Kevin Brokenborough, what's up, bro? I ain't seen you in a minute. Shannon, Mark Malone over there. Yeah. Rob Lightfoot is over there. Harvey Stone is over there. Hey, Last King of Scotland, man. We didn't have beef. We squashing the beef tonight. One night we're gonna get through it. But I'm telling you right now, you cut up, it's Matrix time. You and Claude, listen, I'm at the controls tonight. And I'm quick draw McDraw when it comes to the Matrix. Daniel Reed, man. Craig Withrow. G Stacks was cracking, man. Brandon Watson, Daniel Reed, John Codwell, George T. Who else we got? Alan Wiley, Claude Bishop, the Matrix man in the building. What's up? The mayor of the Matrix. What's happening with you, bro? Brent Harwell, Ruby Stone, Dan Littlejohn, Mr. Woodsey. We got the family, Shannon. Jay's upper teeth. Hey, Shannon, Jay's upper teeth said he found his teeth in the Matrix, bro.
I know, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, I wanted to say, I mean, reading some of these great comments, and I know they'll mean the world to Kevin and us, but to see how many people have went through things similar already or are waiting, and just the it means something. This is our family. This is our Pump Your Brakes family, our SCN family, our Stiller family. And we're there praying for Brother Kevin, and we're praying for each of these people as well. Yeah. And we value this, and that's what makes it special. And that's why we do it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. We don't do it for the accolades or the fame. We do it for the family.
Exactly.
And we are still Curtin Nation, and we're one big happy family. We, like I said, man, we're doing good over here, and we appreciate all y'all for helping us build our network. Because, man, without y'all, there'd be no us.
Yep.
So we appreciate it. All right, man, for all the formalities, we're about 10 minutes in. We're going to pause for the cause. We're going to take a little ad break because we got to pay bills. If you're watching us live on YouTube, we'll be right back after we take a quick commercial break. If you're listening to us, wherever you get your audio podcast, Google, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get it, we're going to take this ad break, and we'll be right back with another edition of Pump Your Brakes podcast on Steel Curtain Network. And we're back with Pump Your Brakes live on YouTube, exclusively on YouTube. Sitting with my boy Shannon. Prayers up for my boy Tate, because we're normally with a trio. But tonight we're the duo and the dynamic duo. But Shannon, we got to shift the gear. We're going to talk first about the little injury report stuff we got going on for Steel Curtain Network. And then we're going to get to the nitty gritty.
Yes.
All right. So Shannon, can you do me a favor, man, and give the people that's listening to us on audio and watching us on video, give us a little update about what's going on with the Steelers' current injury situation, because it just came out today. So let's update the people.
This thing keeps getting bigger and bigger every week, and that's not good. You don't want to get bigger and bigger. Yeah. But it's you got Najee with ribs, but he didn't practice. But I'm sure that's precautionary.
Yeah.
You got Kazee with the ankle. He didn't practice. Nick Herbig with that hamstring, still not practicing. And they say he'd probably be out a couple more weeks at least.
Yeah.
Zach Frazier with the ankle. Thankfully, it's not really bad. It's a week-to-week thing. But they've reported today they'll hold him out till after the bye to be safe.
Yep. Facts.
So we need McCollum to step up.
Yep.
Alex Highsmith with the groin, limited practice. So there's hope he can come back this week.
Facts.
I wouldn't rush it because you know how that groin could be. But we'll see what happens there. Samalu just rest, coming back from injury.
Yeah.
Pruitt with his knee is finally practicing.
Facts.
Full practice. So that'll be good if they can get him back because he's a good blocker.
Yep.
Patterson and that ankle didn't practice, but I think that's probably precautionary.
Yeah.
I heard he might be back this week.
Yep.
And then you got your normal TJ, Cameron Hayward, and Ogunjobi rest days.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. I mean, Wilson doesn't even show on the injury report anymore.
Right.
So I think that, the worst thing that worries me is the Frazier injury.
Yeah.
Because Frazier has solidified that line to whereas Fields has been able to step up in the pocket pretty much. And him and McCormick, they are developing a great rapport. I don't know if you've been watching their combo blocks.
Oh, yeah.
But they're planting people and taking two people out.
Shannon, well, I watched the All 22, man. I got the big fine because my sister called me on the phone. so I get the big fine. But I watched the All 22 actually twice of this last game. And to be honest, bro, it was some of the best inside interior blocking that I've seen in a long time from the center guard combination for the Pittsburgh Steelers, concerning the whole season. So, but go ahead, bro.
Those guys could be special.
Yeah.
And I'm going to throw this out there again. And we talked about it early in the preseason, and so people didn't like it. But Fatanu could eventually be a guard.
Yes.
And if you had him and McCormick and Frazier in the middle, and then with Jones and whoever else my goodness, what a line they can have
a bunch of kids
in the near future.
Yeah, a bunch of kids. All right, Shannon, I got to shift gears because you see this guy's cutting up already. We got a super chat from Claude Bishop. Claude, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to read this super chat. But the only reason why you ain't going to the Matrix is because what you said at the end.
Yeah.
He said, Big G, try not to talk about those Buckeyes. I know you can't do it. And get well soon, Tate. I'm not talking nothing about the Ohio State Buckeyes. It's strictly Pittsburgh Steelers over here. And you're not going to Matrix because what you did for Tate. And I want to acknowledge somebody else who's not a super chat, Shannon. Stairway to 7. First-time commenter, lifelong Steeler fan. I'm sending strength and prayers to Kevin for a successful surgery and many great years ahead. Hey, man, thank you for rocking with us. Thank you for becoming part of the Steel Curtain Network family. And we appreciate you, man.
Don't let this be the only time. Keep coming back. We love good commenters.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, we got to take it in stride sometimes, Shannon, because sometimes, it gets rough and rugged. But we're going to say what we got to say and do what we got to do. Now, going back to what's going on as far as the injury report. Like you said, Frazier, I believe that we're probably, I would bank on it. We're probably going to get Highsmith back this week, right?
Yeah,
I think we're going to get Pruitt back this week. And I think we're going to get Patterson back this week. And Najee is just resting him because they don't want him to get beat up or get injured any further than what he is. So saying all that, I think for the first time, outside of the 2 offensive linemen that we have on IR, we're somewhere around 85% strength. And if you would have told me at the beginning of the season that we would have lost 2 starting offensive linemen on IR for the whole freaking season, the backup center on IR for the whole season, Russie would have went through the injury that he went through.
Mm-hmm.
Patterson and Warren would have went through the injuries that they went through. Roman Wilson wouldn't have had the ability to play. We lost Highsmith for dual games, and now we done lost Herbert for dual games. And you would have told me that the Steelers were 4-2, I would have told you, Shannon, you're lying. There's no way.
We'd have took it.
We'd have took it. We'd have took it. We, man, happily took it. But the issue is football is a game of attrition.
Mm-hmm.
And for all those people, because believe me, tonight I'm going in on Mike Tomlin. So y'all don't think I'm a Tomlin apologist when I make this statement. But football is a game of attrition, and it's next man up. So I want to give a shout out to Omar Khan and his ability to evaluate talent, because the improvement, because Shannon, you know, this was one of our preseason things. We had to improve the 53-man roster. And I think the improvement to the 53-man roster showed up while we're 4-2 and only lost 2 games by 6 points. What are your thoughts about that, bro? What you thinking?
Oh, it's obvious. I mean, everybody talks about Khan's failure, if we want to call it failures, to get one of these top 2 receivers that the Steelers were looking at.
Yeah.
But again, you got to take into account one, cost, capital. Did they want to come to Pittsburgh? I mean, if Adams was unhappy in LA, why did you think he's going to be happy with the limited targets and the struggling passing attack in Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
And we know a hook used the Steelers as leverage.
Correct.
And so he really wanted to stay in San Francisco, and he did. So I don't consider those failures. I think when you watch the teams that overpay, you see what contract that the Jets are giving Adams?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't want him for that.
And got to eat the bread. Got to eat some of the bread too. Yeah.
I don't want him for that. No. Yeah. And so I think Khan is, when you consider how much he's improved the depth, which is a huge issue the last 2 years, that they've been able to weather this rash of injuries, you got to give him credit. And I see people wanting to be critical. I don't see that.
Yeah. Listen, we're not going to dwell on or stay on it for a long time, but even a guy like Jeremiah Moon that got from the Baltimore Ravens, look at the plays that he made, not just the singular punt block, but look at the plays he made on defense.
Yeah.
He didn't get a sack, but he was critical in the run stop. Well, and he applied pressure on that quarterback too.
And he'll do better in the pass rush. He's just now getting his feet wet again because it had been a while, and he's getting back in shape.
Yeah.
But when the Ravens, for the playoff roster, tried to sneak him, and they was going to try to sneak him, they waived him, and they thought they could sneak him on the practice, and then the Steelers picked him up off waivers.
Right.
I said, that's a great pickup, and we talked about it all preseason.
Yeah.
He looks like Bud Dupree. And when you seen him setting the edge, he sets an edge.
Yeah.
Now, and I believe, like you said, that pass rush will improve as he gets back in shape.
Yeah, and we need him, because who would have thought that Highsmith and Herbert would have went down?
Oh, yeah.
We need it. We don't have another outside linebacker. but he righted the ship. He played well. He didn't play all that great in Dallas because he was sort of thrown in. Yeah. But definitely against the Raiders, he played a good game. And so
they tried Loudermilk.
Yeah.
And that's just ain't gonna work. He don't have any. He's a defensive end, but
correct.
Leal going down, and looks like he's out for the year with that stinger. Yeah. I mean, they was counting on him being like that 5th guy. Yeah. Well, now he's gone. So this rash of injuries is crazy.
Yeah, but we can't, and that's why I say it's the next man up mentality, Shannon.
Yeah.
Everybody is getting destroyed with injuries right now. If you're healthy, if you're 100% healthy, you better be like, man, listen, because it's not a matter of if the injuries are coming, it's a matter of when they're coming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I would much rather have my injuries at the beginning versus having my injuries at the end, boy. Yeah. Let's get through what we got to get through. Let's, because you never know with some guys that are placed on IR and all whatever else. A guy or two that's out for the season might come back if we get in the playoffs and win a game or two. So that could be beneficial.
Shouldn't Trace be coming off the IR pretty soon?
I've been hearing that. And I also heard from a friend of mine that Fautanu, if we make the playoffs, might not be done. Fautanu might be back for the playoffs. And I was in my mind, I was like, wait a minute. Okay, if that's the case and this kid's able to get through and rehab and we getting fresh for the playoffs, okay, yeah. Yeah, so I'll take the lumps now. As a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, I'll take the lumps today. I'll take it now. And okay, everybody else is dealing with injuries, but let's get through it. And the next man up mentality, I like that aspect of the Steelers, Shannon. I like that aspect, But some other stuff, I'm a little upset. But with that aspect of it and that end of the story for the Steelers, I'm okay. All right, now, second second thing that we're going to talk about today. I said weeks ago, I don't think that the Steelers is going to sign a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't believe it. I know, like how you said in prefaces, there was guys that might be coming over to the team and we're looking at Strong and all whatever else, but I just don't think they're going to do it. I think they're looking at, okay, we're young, we're talented, and we have to develop. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, over the last 48 hours, it's went bananas in wide receiver land.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper's gone. Davante Adams is gone. The guys is flipping teams. I've heard Cooper Kupp's on the block. I've heard D-Hop is on the block. Okay. I just want to get your view today, Shannon. Do you think that we go after a wide receiver?
Don't even tease me about Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows how much I love and respect Cooper. I like Puka Nacua too.
Yeah.
I mean, those two guys they get to play in any era. They're old school guys.
Yeah.
And not the diva behavior, none of that nonsense. Yeah. I love it. But I agree with you. I want to see what Roman Wilson can do.
Yeah.
He just blocked the other day. I think he got like 5 snaps, mainly just blocking. But, I think they'll try to pick up somebody on the cheap, just to add to the room.
Yeah.
Because like you said, you need somebody with some size. If Pickens was to go out, you need somebody else who can play that position.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't think they're going to – here's the thing. They know this ain't a Super Bowl year.
Yeah.
This is your preemptive year, but before you get to your Super Bowl years. So I think you want to protect your capital, protect your chemistry, develop what you got. The Steelers have struggled to develop talent in the last few years.
Facts.
Now they have to get back to that. And there is talent there they need to develop.
Yeah. Hey, so before I get to my comment, I just want to say, Tate Boy Fresh, hey, man, this is Tate. This is Kevin Tate, man. He's saying, thanks to the Steel Curtain Network, FFSN family, and live chat fam for the prayers. Wide receiver on the way, Big G. Tate, I agree with you. But who we might not agree on who it is.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I'm thinking, realistically, we're going to get one of these 3 guys. Adam Thielen, Mike Williams, or Van Der Schelling. I'm thinking Van Der Schelling, Mike Williams, or Adam Thielen. That's who I'm thinking. It's not necessarily a huge, big name. Now, would I be happy if we got D-Hop, even though he's long in the tooth? Yeah, because he's going to make good catches and be a possession guy. Mm-hmm. But I'm thinking we're going to get one of those guys. Shannon, what do you think about the 3 names I just threw out there?
Well, Valdez Scallion, he can take the top off.
Yeah.
But man, them hands. And he's played with some top quarterbacks. Yeah. And his production has been very sporadic because of that. So if you bring somebody in, if it's really on the cheap and, the one-trick pony, but, we would have to – Wilson can throw deep. Fields can throw deep. We just don't.
Yeah.
And you have to do it and at least hit a few to make teams respect it.
Yeah.
As you know, I like Adam Thielen. I mentioned him at the end of preseason.
Facts.
And then he come out and got hurt.
Yeah.
So he hasn't really been able to establish himself in Charlotte, and they've got some other guys that have.
Yeah.
So that he might be available.
Yeah.
And there's a guy they need, a reliable position guy who can get open that these quarterbacks can count on.
Yeah.
Because really, right now they don't got that.
Right.
So, and who was the other guy you mentioned?
Adam Thielen, Mike Williams.
Mike Williams. Yes.
Mike Williams is with the current Jets.
Yeah.
As you know, Davante Adams went over to the Jets. Garrett's the 2, Lazard's the 3, so he's out of there.
Yeah, I know. Arron Rodgers ran over him with the bus the other night, and then he backed over him. Yeah. So, I think Williams will be available. Very injury prone, and for a Steelers team this year that can't stay healthy. But again, he would give you somebody with experience, size, and so that's another possibility. But that's what it's going to be. It's not going to be a big name, but really they just need a reliable name.
Yeah. Yeah, I see the live chat is going crazy. They said, man, we want DK Metcalf. Yo, I would love to have DK Metcalf too, but I just don't think it's in the Steelers. I don't think it's in Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't think it's in the management thought or concept of what they want to bring into Pittsburgh. I think that they want to give their young guys an opportunity to develop so they can sign them and have the money available to sign them. Because if you bring a big name contract guy into the Pittsburgh organization, now you don't have room to take care of the young fellas. So I don't see it, but for the cheap D-Hop, Thielen, Van Der Scouting, Mike Williams, I would love Cooper Kupp. I swear. If we could get Cooper Kupp, I'd start crying. I'd be my God, we got him.
I would be so excited. But here's the thing, me and you kind of last week, and I've had people say that we jumped the gun and a little bit, but I've been so frustrated with the multiple touchdown passes dropped by Pickens already, and the attitude, the halfway running routes. I mean, Randy Moss could get away with it. Pickens can't.
Right.
If I could get a guy, like let's say you're going to have to pay whatever, how wide receiver contracts have exploded.
Yeah.
I don't trust Pickens to pay him that much.
Not yet.
I would rather get, I was all for it till the last few weeks.
Yeah.
And now I would rather if we could get a guy like Cooper Kupp or somebody like that, that's proven that I have more faith in to show up and show out every week, I'll do it.
Yeah. I would too. But like I said, it's just that I think, Shannon, on all the other podcasts I've been on, this is F around and find out October.
Yeah.
And we're finding out about the Steelers, about what's really going on and where they're at. From a maturity standpoint, overall with the roster, which young guys are going to show up, who's going to do what they need to do. And we're getting some good things. So like when in the next 10 or segue or whatever we go into, we're going to have some real tough things to say about Pittsburgh. But I do like the development of some of these young players. But Shannon, I think they're right here and they need to go up to the next. Yeah. Right. And that's what we got to see over the next 2 or 3 weeks, at least the next 2 weeks before we go into the bye, because the last 8 games is a grind. So we need to know who we're taking into that grind.
Sunday's game, if you look at the score, you think, well, the Steelers blew them out. The Steelers give up that touchdown on the opening drive, and then they really shut them out until, they kind of backed off and like they are tend to do, but it was really a lot closer. If it hadn't been for some really questionable calls, if it hadn't been for some huge mistakes by the Raiders, great plays by TJ Watt, the block punt. That game, you think the Steelers should have dominated them. It looked like a home game for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it did.
They was more Steeler fans there. There actually was. And I thought that they should, Fields had the opportunity to grab a hold of that position and seize it. And I don't think he did. I said earlier on the Hangover this week, there was 5 throws that he just missed.
Yeah.
Guys wide open and he overthrew them.
Yeah.
You can't do that. This whole offense is a lot of running route, stop, turn around, wait on the ball to get there. And if you're airmailing it over them, that's an opportunity that you're only going to get 4 or 5 times a game.
Yeah.
I I was very disappointed in his throwing, his accuracy. Now, the legs are still there, the dynamic. He makes those plays. And behind the line, the way it's blocked at times, that he saved them.
Yeah.
There was a couple times they had to be clear sacks, and he got out of there and made something.
Yeah.
With Wilson, I think it's going to be a sack.
Yeah.
But the thing that makes me feel like that they are going to make a change is they don't trust Fields to audible.
Yeah.
And you see the play's going to be a bad play. You see it coming. He sees it coming. Everybody sees it coming, but he can't check out of it. It's an RPO. He either keeps it and runs, or he tries a quick pass. Well, half the time, him and the receivers ain't on the same page. If they give Wilson that option to check out, maybe at least they can back that off.
Well, Shannon, I don't disagree with you, but I don't know if that's so much on Justin Fields. And the reason why I believe that to be so is because, I'm a film studier, bro. I get in that film room, man, and I watch and I watch and I watch, right? Now, every NFL player calls 2 plays in the huddle. That's just, if you've been around the NFL, especially down and distance, they call 2 plays in the huddle. So they normally have 2 plays, and then they check to play. That's when you hear them say Ringo and this, that, and this, or whatever else they say. I saw Justin do that a lot in film. I saw him check out, run left, run right. I saw him check out when he saw the guy went in motion and didn't see the slot corner moving. He's okay. They're in 2-eye safety. They're in shell. He knew that. But I think he did miss some throws. But I think the Steelers dropped throws too, including a touchdown pass. And George Pickens has dropped multiple touchdown passes for Justin. Like more than 2, 3.
Yeah, 3.
Yes. And I've seen other players miss passes. I know that pass to Calvin Austin should have been caught, and that would have been a huge play. Mm-hmm. So we leave a lot of points on the field. And I don't know and we're going to get into it, but I don't know if the dynamic of Russie's there. So that's all I'm saying about that. But Shannon, the thing I'm glad to see was they leaned on the run game. And we have finally had a Najee Harris sighting. Finally.
Yes, he did not hesitate. He hit the hole, sometimes even too fast, but at least he wasn't stopping or pausing, because then it's over. He didn't try to bounce outside. If he did, he went right off tackle's hip or in that, he didn't try to go wide because he can't. And I thought that, as you say, the running game looked much better. But I don't know if you watched all them blocking assignment adjustments that Frazier and the guys were pointing out. Yeah. And Fields was telling more this side, that side, getting everybody in position, and they blocked it up on some all-out blitz, some zero blitz.
Yeah.
The problem is can they still do that without Frazier?
That's facts. Oh, and can they do that with a non-mobile quarterback? All right, so we're going to take a couple super chats. Danny Littlejohn, thank you for the $1.99. Not fair to Justin Fields that every week we have a quarterback conversation. That is absolutely true. And when we segue to this little next part, I'm going in deep on that one. Now, I got to give Claude this. Claude, boy, he said Russie ran for 351 yards last season, but Justin Fields should start this week because the Jets have a great defense. You know what, Claude? That is not even a Matrix-worthy comment. That is some validity. And I personally feel that Justin should start because I think, and Shannon, I'm going to segue this to you. I think Russ is a sitting target.
Yes.
I have major concerns if Russell Wilson starts this week for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Not just a little concerns. I have major concerns based on who the New York Football Jets are. So, Shannon, do you have concerning with the Jets?
Oh, no. We're talking straight defense that Wilson will be going up against. It's like when they went up against Denver. Yeah. Denver has a heck of a defense. People don't realize. And that was a tough game. But still, Justin Fields made enough plays, they pulled it out.
Yeah.
This week, the Jets have a really good defense.
Yes.
They've struggled on offense. Now, the Jets' rush defense is not that great. It's middle of the pack, but their pass defense is top of the line. Mm-hmm. So, again, you're going to need Justin Fields' legs. You're going to need Harris in that offensive line blocking, and punishing that defense.
Yeah.
Because the passing game, like if they put Sauce Gardner on Pickens, he'll disappear.
Game over.
Yeah, you ain't going to be throwing to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree. I think this is not the week to bring in Russell Wilson.
Yeah. Shannon, and I don't want to say this too. The Jets defensively, they have a Pro Bowl player at every level.
Yeah.
On defensive line, at linebacker, and at DB. They have a Pro Bowl player at every level.
Yeah.
So that's concerning, because if you have a Pro Bowl player at every level on the field, that means they can take something that's your strength away from you.
Yeah.
They have a guy that can match up one-on-one on Freiermuth. They got a guy that can match up one-on-one on Pickens, and they got a guy that can stop Najee in the hole. So what we going to do?
Yeah.
See, and that's why I'm like, okay, you have to have that playmaker like Justin, that when the play breaks down, he can get up out of there. And he can get 10 yards. He can get 15 yards. Heck, he might bust a 40 or 50 yarder because he's got enough speed.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't know if Russie can do that. And that's my concern with Russie starting at quarterback, Shannon.
Did you see the Denver Broncos New York Jets game earlier this year?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think, what was it, 10-6 final score or something like that?
Yes.
And I mean, it was ridiculous. I don't even know if anybody scored an offensive touchdown.
No.
But it was just like neither team could do anything. That's what scares me.
Yeah.
And you've got a desperate Jets team.
Yes.
I mean, they went all in on Arron Rodgers. First game, he got hurt, missed the whole season. Now, this year, there's been bickering. They've been ineffective. They're 2-4, I think, and they're desperate. And they went out and, overpaid for Adams. They're trying anything and everything. And you got a wounded quarterback who's a great quarterback.
Yeah.
He's old, but we know them guys could rise up from time to time. Yeah. And he's picked apart the Steelers before.
Oh, yeah.
And if they do this defense they've been doing the last couple of weeks, this off man and passive crap, I'm afraid he's going to light them up, because you let him get in the rhythm, and it's different. It'll be worse than it was when Dak put the numbers on him.
Yeah. He's going to force feed Adams.
Yep.
Garrett Wilson is a beast.
Garrett Wilson's better than anything we got.
Oh, I'm trying to tell you, Garrett Wilson is a 1A wide receiver in the NFL that just got pushed to 1B because of Davante Adams. They have two serviceable tight ends, Rucker and Conklin. They have two dog running backs, and Breece Hall and the kid from Allen from Wisconsin.
Yep.
And they got Rodgers. So defensively, I'm telling you right now, the Jets is going to put points up on us. And that's why I say you got to have the playmaking ability of a mobile quarterback versus a guy that's a statue. And like I said, we're going to get into it after the break. Listen, we got one more super chat that we're going to talk about before we go to the break. Last King of Scotland, what's crack-a-lackin', bro? Thanks for the $1.99. He said, Justin Fields has had every chance to win quarterback one and failed. I don't think he failed. I don't count 4-2 as a failure. I don't count 10 total touchdowns, 1 interception as a failure. I don't count him having about 200 yards less passing than C.J. Stroud, who's an MVP candidate, as a failure. I think it was an early experiment. We had to see what was going on with meat on the bones. He showed that he has meat on the bones. He showed that he can play at this level. He just needs to continue to get reps and reps and reps. That's not a failure. You lost 2 games by 6 points. Shannon?
None of us wanted him starting yet. We wanted him to sit and grow and learn behind Wilson, and then the injury happened. I wanted to see them both play and have special packages for Whit Fields, remember?
Yes,
we all
that's what
talked
we said
about
at the beginning.
Yeah, and they can still do that. They can still have opportunity to bring in, if they start Wilson, bring Fields in, and especially goal line packages, because look how effective he's been scoring down in the red zone. Yeah. So I don't think it's a failure on Fields at all. My problem is they're running an antiquated offensive system that Mike Tomlin wants. It's protect the ball, play passive, play conservative, and you're not going to score 30 points a game with this offense. And it's play good enough to win the game, but you're never going to blow anybody out. I mean, watching the Detroit Lions slaughter Dallas after Dallas waltzed into Pittsburgh on Sunday night, beat the Steelers on that last play. it made me sick in my stomach. Detroit was doing, they tried the same flea flicker, double reverse flea flicker,
to an offensive lineman.
And they did some Statue of Liberty play to an offensive lineman, and Sewell almost scored, and they tried to throw it to Decker. I mean, where's that creativity? Steelers, they're lucky if they can do a regular play.
Yeah.
So I just think that one team is playing, trying to get to and win the Super Bowl, and the other team just wants to finish over 500 again.
Could be. All right, y'all, we got to take another commercial break. We got to pause for the cause. If you're watching us live on YouTube, we'll be right back with Pump Your Brakes podcast live on YouTube, exclusively on YouTube. If you're listening to us wherever you get your audio podcast, Apple, Spotify, and Google, we'll be right back after this quick commercial break. And we're back with Pump Your Brakes podcast live on Wednesdays. Sitting with my boy Shannon. Prayers up for my boy Tate. All right, Shannon, we got to get to the hard subject. We've danced around and we've made some comments. We talked about it, right? Mm-hmm. Now let's take the facts first, because people's all on a tangent about who's doing what now. I watched the Coach Tomlin press conference. Matter of fact, I watched it twice, and I listened attentively with what he said. First thing is, Tomlin did not say Justin Fields was not the starter. Tomlin did not say that Russie was the starter. Mm-hmm. Tomlin said that he's going to give them both an opportunity. He's going to look at both of them. He's going to give both of them opportunities to get first-team reps. And he said that sometime on Friday, at the earliest, and possibly even Saturday, he's going to name the starter. He said that. I heard him say it publicly. Mm-hmm. I listened twice attentively. Now, his reasoning behind it was Russie is fully 100% healthy. He feels comfortable to give Russie first-team reps, but he also stated that Justin has not played his way out of that position. He stated he's done some dynamic things. He stated that he was proud of him. He stated he likes his maturity. And he also stated that there's no issue or no problem between these two guys. He said that they're very supportive for each other. They got each other's back. They make sure that they both understand the game plan, and they work well with each other. Mm-hmm. Now, Shannon, I've been around coaches and I've been around football all my whole life, okay? That's what you call coaches talk. What I heard was they're both going to play. That's what I heard. Mm-hmm. I just want to get your thoughts on that, bro.
Oh, I wholeheartedly agree. I thought that, like I said, that's what we thought the plan was going to be all year, and then Wilson's injury. So I'm okay with it. I've said before, Tomlin, he has no idea how to handle a quarterback situation. I mean, it ain't his fault, but he's never had to. He inherited Big Ben. Right. Look at Sean Payton. He inherited Drew Brees. He said, boy, when Brees left, he didn't know what the heck to do. Yeah. Belichick never had a good quarterback until he got Tom Brady. And then after Brady left, he didn't know what to do. So, I mean, these coaches that inherit Hall of Fame quarterbacks, it's one thing to say, well, I guarantee you you're going to be the starter. I promise. Yeah. And then the guy gets hurt. And then your backup comes in and they look better. Yeah. And then you're like, okay, well, you're healthy now. And now I'm going to put you back in there. Well, it's not about feelings. Yeah. It's about what's best for the organization in the long run. Yeah. When Brady played, Drew Brees got screwed. Uh-huh. But that's life. It's life in the NFL. It's a business.
Right.
But I think that Tomlin is trying to walk this tightrope and keep both guys happy and keep both guys positive. But here's the crazy thing. I think he can do it.
Yeah.
I think Fields is just happy to be out of Chicago.
Yeah.
I think Wilson's happy to be playing in Pittsburgh, playing for Tomlin, and I think he likes Fields, and I think they do have a good relationship. Yeah. So if playing both of them will make a more dynamic offense, go for it.
Yeah. Listen, Shannon, this is what we talked about in the preseason, and I know I was talking about Justin was going to be Slash 2.0 because he's going to have a packages and all kind of little different stuff. So in my mind, I'm thinking that that's what they're going to go back to. Yeah. They're going to go back to some of those packages that Justin had designed. But now that they know he has some semblance of the offense, they can pretty much do anything with Justin. He's a Swiss Army knife.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
But with Russie, they bring him in, and now this is the deal. Russie's got to show he's more accurate than Justin, because if not, we're going back to Justin. And that's the truth of it. Russie's got to show that he can hit those passes, because if he can't hit those passes, then why is he playing?
Yeah, but I think he will. I think he'll show that. I really do.
Yeah.
And I just think that this offense needs explosiveness. It needs creativity, like I was talking about Detroit's offense.
Yeah.
And I think having both guys, it can use both guys and be versatile and creative. I think it'll work, because what is Wilson going to give you? He's going to give you experience, stability, and leadership. And then he's, like you said, you could use Fields in his explosiveness and get him valuable experience with less pressure.
Yes.
So, it could actually work out.
Yeah. Listen, we've seen this in Pittsburgh before. We've seen this where two quarterbacks play. We saw Cordell Stewart and Neil O'Donnell play together, and we went to a Super Bowl. Right now, I'm not saying we're that team. I'm not saying we're the 95 Steelers.
No, not yet. That. No, not yet.
But because they had killers.
Yes, exactly.
But I'm saying that we've seen this thing work before. Shannon, I'm going to pivot real quick. Corey Brown, man, thank you for the $10. We appreciate the super chat. He says, I think Justin will develop into our quarterback. Let's give Russie a chance. I watched Justin miss some wide open receivers, and I believe Russ will make some of those throws. I call that.
That's what I said. That's what I said.
I call that big facts. That is a possibility. But this is Russie. So I'm going to say this, and I got into it with some Steeler fans when I made this statement. I said that Russie will have a shorter window than Justin to prove that he's the starting quarterback. I said Russie will get to the bye. And if Russie can't show by the bye, so if some ungodly reason we drop to the Jets and the Giants and it's Russ play trash, guess what's happening after the bye? We're going right back to Justin, because we're not going to smoke the season away, right? Yeah. So I think Justin got a 6-game window, while I think Russie's going to get a 2-game window. And he's got to prove he can do it, because if not, we know what we already have in Justin. What you thinking, Shannon?
Oh, I totally agree. Here's the thing. Normally, I would not like the 2 quarterback situation.
Yeah.
Because it can affect chemistry. It can affect timing and communication. Well, guess what? The Steelers don't have any communication. They have no chemistry, and the timing's all over the place. They are not consistent at anything. They're most consistent at being inconsistent. Yeah. So I think if it makes them more explosive, and you give this team 4 or 5 big plays a game, whether it's Fields or whether it's Wilson, or a combination of both, they can beat a lot of teams. Yeah. I mean, better teams than they've been beating.
Right. And I'm telling you, I don't think there's an issue between Justin and Russie. I really do believe it, because I've watched them. I've watched how they interacted with each other on the sidelines. I see how they support each other. I hear the rumblings out of Pittsburgh where they're saying they really are sort of friendly to each other and they like each other. And I think that both of them have on their mind they want to win.
I think they both do, yeah.
But the issue is, now there's some issues out of some of the Steelers, and we're going to get to that in a minute. Afton, Chat General, we appreciate you, Afton. She said, I'm supporting whoever plays. Here we go, Steelers. Thank you, Afton, for the $2. Yep. Afton, I don't disagree. I'm going to support, and I'm not going to be a hater. I'm just going to say that Russie got a shorter window. And I think that's fair, because if he's that all-pro, prominent player, this great player, legacy player, supposed to be a starter and all this stuff, whatever else, you don't need a lot of warming up, right? You're ready to go this week.
Hey,
and if you're not, yeah.
Do you have the Matrix warmed up?
Yep, I sure do.
All right. Brother Claude says, Shannon, Big Ben wasn't a Hall of Fame quarterback when Tomlin joined the Steelers.
Oh, my.
And G, Tomlin said that JF missed some throws. Come on, gentlemen. Now, everybody's seen that Justin Fields missed those throws that I mentioned earlier.
Yep.
And if you couldn't tell that Big Ben was a Hall of Fame quarterback his rookie season, I question if you know football at all. Because the moment that young man stepped on that football field, I thought that the Steelers could win any game. And they beat the team that nobody could beat in the Patriots. He won 2 Super Bowls, should have been 3. I mean, come on. I mean, we know what Big Ben is. And he was a Hall of Fame quarterback from the moment he stepped on the field.
So do you want the signs? You know what? Matter of fact, I'm just going to, you said it should be warmed up. There you go, Claude. Adios muchachos, my friend. Now, Claude, you know it takes a lot for Shannon to be putting you in the Matrix, man.
Yeah, I don't do that, but that
Shannon is the fairest person. But if Shannon threw you in the Matrix, adios muchachos, my friend. We'll talk to you on the other side. Maybe that message was decoded from coming in out of the Matrix to us. Maybe, we don't know. But saying Big Ben wasn't that guy from the beginning? Claude, what do you mean?
Obvious. It was obvious.
What do you mean? Yeah. So yeah, come on, dog. Come on, man. But going back to the subject matter, I think if Patterson is healthy, Shannon, and Justin is healthy, I think we have a huge advantage from a playmaking and play calling standpoint to do some stuff that we haven't done all year. What would you think about having Patterson, Warren, Najee, Justin, and Russie all available?
Repeat that.
So I think from having Cordell Patterson, Najee, Jalen Warren, Justin Fields, and Russie. I'm not talking about the wide receivers and tight ends.
Okay.
I'm saying from those 5 players available, because I heard Tomlin say in the press conference that he likes having players available and ready to play. Yeah. I think we have an ability to call different type of plays and maybe some plays that Arthur Smith hasn't been able to call because all the guys wasn't healthy. What do you think, bro?
I'm hoping Warren was not back. He was back on the field, but he wasn't back. So hopefully he is truly back now.
Yeah.
Because if he is, as you say, and Patterson can come back to this, what we were seeing before he got hurt with the Colts.
Yeah.
In that game, I wholeheartedly agree. We know the Jets are vulnerable. And there's so much. Arthur Smith has a versified rushing attack. Yeah. His game plan can, and I think they're going to miss Frazier, though.
Yeah.
That still concerns me.
What's this, the 7th line? This is the 7th different line?
They had the same line to start the game twice.
Yeah.
But McCollum concerns me. I'm hoping he can step up because the Jets got some good tackles. But, we'll see. But, they're going to have to get creative because we know, as we said, and we got those tight ends.
Yeah.
And I'm still waiting on an up the sea pass to Washington accurately.
Well, he threw one, but he just didn't catch it.
That's what I'm saying, but it was high. I'm waiting for one accurate where he can catch it and go, and then I want to see bodies bouncing off of it.
Washington's had at least one catch the last every game.
Yeah.
He's had at least one, but he's had multiple targets,
which
is telling me they're implementing him into that game plan.
Oh, they're getting there. Yeah.
All right, Corey Brown, man, we thank you for the $4.99. We appreciate you. He said on the Rich Eisen show this week, Patrick Queen stated that Russ and Justin are joined at the hip most of the time. That is big. I got feet on the ground over there, bro. That's big facts. Yeah, that's happening. They're cool with each other. And that's how it's supposed to be, especially if you want to win.
Yeah.
And I think it's more of maybe Russie passing the torch to Justin than there's hate on it. But not all the Steelers feel the same because I got to talk about it. Deshaun Elliott said some crazy stuff today, Shannon. Deshaun Elliott was talking about Mike Tomlin was Osama bin Laden.
Yeah, what was that about? It didn't make sense to me.
Because that's that who I want to play and you're a dictator type thing going on. That's what was going on. So I think that Deshaun sort of pissed that that this quarterback thing is happening because he's used to being in a situation where it was Lamar. They literally handed the keys from Joe Flacco to Lamar.
Yeah.
This is his first season with Pittsburgh. So I'm telling Deshaun Elliott, and since we're on our show, I'm going to give Deshaun Elliott one of these. Pump your brakes, Deshaun. Chill out, bro.
So I thought it was just a joke. I didn't know. I didn't understand it. I said, I don't know what's funny about it because they had that funny hat on his head and and I'm like, what is going on? But so that's why. Okay, it makes a little more sense now.
Yeah. So I just pump your brakes. All the Steelers fans need to pump their brakes. Now, do we have a serviceable opponent coming in this week with the New York Jets? Their record is 2-4, but they ain't 2-4. I'm telling y'all right now. That they can hit us easily for 35 points.
Oh,
and there'd be no sweat off their brow at all. They could hit us for it, right?
Yep.
So the record doesn't indicate the opponent. But this is the first opportunity that we have to see Russie. So let's see what he is. And if he is what he is, then we're all good. Because I think either way, Justin's going to play. I think either way, there's going to be packages. There's going to be times both. It might even be where you got both on the field at the same time. It might be, right? So I think they're both going to play.
When you have offenses stagnant, limited, you need more explosiveness. You don't take off one of your most dynamic players.
Yes.
I mean, you have to get him out there in some packages and have some certain goal line, short yardage, whatever. Because we know some of the hits he's taken this year, we're going to have Wilson in traction.
Yes.
The cart's going to come out. They're going to wheel him out of the stadium.
Yeah.
Fields is younger. He's used to running the ball. He's took some shots and then gets back up.
Yeah.
So he's tough enough to be an ever down player.
Yeah.
Even if it ain't quarterback, they're going to have to make sure they get him out there and utilize that athleticism and that explosiveness because this team doesn't need less playmakers. They need more.
That's facts. And I think that's why they're both going to play.
Yep.
And which could confuse the brake shoes off of the Jets, right?
Yep.
They're pros. They know it. But when you have dynamic playmakers lining up, you don't know what's going to happen. And Shannon, we just might get a taste of what you saw Detroit do to Dallas. All kind of plays that were like, where's this been all year? And to be honest, bro, I think that's what we need to win. I think you're going to have to see a reverse. They tried to set one up against the Raiders and got killed. It got blown up. But I think
that was disastrous.
Yeah, I think the playbook's going to open up, and you're going to see some dynamic plays for sure. Shannon, we got about a minute and 45, 50 seconds left. This is when we get to the end. We call what we call for the score. We call the preview of the game. Give me your thoughts, man, concerning it, man.
Well, usually a night game in Pittsburgh, I've always been, the Steelers got them right where they want them. But with the injuries, the injury to Frazier and the offensive line, when they need the run block and they need to be able to control the game on the ground, that concerns me greatly. Switching to Russell Wilson, if they do it, if they go to Russell Wilson, this is not the week to do it. I'm concerned with that. I would wait till next week. Because I think that Fields can hurt the Jets and their weaker run defense with his legs. But I'm like you. I think they are going to play him this week. With some of the injuries on the defensive side of the ball, I know what Rodgers can do to our 3-4 defense.
Yeah.
And that concerns me. I do not like to pick against the Steelers, but I'm afraid that they're going to do a kind of a repeat of the Dallas game. I think that until Tomlin backs off and gives them more freedom, gives Arthur Smith more freedom, and they can get this offensive situation solidified, I don't like the matchup our offense against the Jets defense.
Wow.
I wish I did, but I'm seeing like a 17-13 Jets.
So you're picking the Jets 17-13.
Yep.
Shannon, I went back and forth all day about this. You know, I text you. I said, man, I might pick against the Steelers because I've never on Pump Your Brakes, never one time picked against Pittsburgh. Never. Mm-hmm. And you can call me a homer and all whatever else, but this is a Pittsburgh Steelers safe place. So, of course, I want to talk that. My gut is telling me that this decision is going to work for the good for Pittsburgh. My gut is telling me. My gut is telling me that Pittsburgh's going to do something that you ain't seen all year. And my gut is telling me that it's going to ignite George Pickens. It's going to ignite Calvin Austin. It's going to ignite Pat Freiermuth. It's definitely going to ignite Najee, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that along with, because I'm telling you right now, T.J. Watt's on a mission. Yep. T.J. Watt is on a mission to prove, like, I don't even need the freaking sacks. I'm going to wreck the game. And I done seen something in Arron Rodgers. He can't get away. He can't get away. He can't. I saw what Buffalo did. When it came on critical downs and distance, they was tearing Rodgers behind up. Mm-hmm. And Buffalo don't got the pass rush we got. With Watt, and oh God, if Highsmith come back, it's going to be a problem. So give me the Pittsburgh Steelers 24-21. And they finally get a defensive touchdown this week. I don't know if it's going to be Watt, Minka, Deshaun, Jackson. Somebody's going to make a JPJ. Somebody's going to make a play. Shannon, we got two super chats, and we're going to close this joker out. Wes Ace with the $2, bro. We thank you. He said, oh, Ohio State who? He said, love you, Big G. They're giving me hell about Ohio State, but we'll be back. Just check me out on the Level Up podcast on Mondays, and we can talk a little bit about Ohio State Buckeyes. Jay's Upper Teeth says, Jones was a turnstile versus the Raiders for the $2. He was a little bit, but so was Dan Moore Jr., and that's because there's only a couple guys in the league that's like Max Crosby, TJ Watt, and Hutchinson. That's it. Yeah. The Jets ain't got no guy like that. There ain't no dude that's going to have somebody on it. Their defensive tackles are good. Yeah. But defensive ends, nah. Because Hakeem Reddick went the heck out of there. So they ain't got no killer on the end, bro.
Yeah, but we don't got Frazier, and that scares me.
That scares the brake shoes off of me. We don't pump your brakes, so it sure does with me. So I like the Steelers. 2 more super chats, and we're going to go. Corey Brown, let's go Steelers. Thank you for the $1.99. We appreciate you. And Last King of Scotland, $1.99. We appreciate you. Wilson versus Rodgers trumps AB. Sunday in Pittsburgh, a movie. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling that a little bit, man. I'm feeling that. Because, yeah, it is. AB is coming back. He's going to do all whatever else. Get up on out of here, AB. You served your time. You're not suiting up, man. We appreciate you, but get up on out of here.
Can we sneak him into Austin's jersey if nobody noticed?
Shannon, I don't know if he can handle it. I'm going to be honest, man. All right, man. So listen, final thoughts out of you, Shannon, so we can go, bro.
It's a big one. I mean, I hope the Steelers prove me so wrong. I hope McCollum plays a great game, and I hope your prediction's right and mine's wrong. So I'll be rooting with all my heart, and I'm hoping they can pull it out. Because if they can get to the bye week in good shape and start getting these guys back, I think that, we'll hopefully see as you say, something positive come out of this quarterback situation. But, this game scares me. I ain't going to lie.
Yeah, facts. Y'all, before I go, I got to hit the algorithm sign one time. If you haven't hit the subscribe button or the like button, make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button for rocking with us on Steel Curtain Network. Make sure you swing back next Wednesday. Check me. Tate might be here, might not. Prayers up for Tate right now, but it's going to be me and Shannon here next week on the Fridays, Homies and Homies Overtime Show with me, B Dirt and Pay. We will be there live on Friday on both shows. Make sure you subscribe to the Know It Alls podcast. Y'all, we're getting closer and closer to the 1K subs. So for our chat generals, please put the Know It Alls correct spelling in the live chat so people can check out that show. Subscribe to that show. That's me, Tate Boy Fresh, and our boy Mod. We talk NFL, NCAA, football, all sports you can think about. You can check us live on Sundays. Don't forget to check me out on the Level Up College Football Podcast on Sunday. Check Shannon out with Jeremiah going on over there on The Hangover on Mondays. And don't forget to check the No Cap Recap, audio only, with me, Pay, and Tate on your drive home from work or to work on Tuesdays. We thank all you guys for rocking with us tonight on PYB, and we will definitely check you next week. Shannon, you know how we get out of here, bro. Take us to the crib.
Gotta say, Brother Tate, love you, man. Praying for you. God is great. You got this, bro. Thanks for all the prayers. Love you guys.